Here are some of my thoughts on finding the one. So, in my opinion, there are many potential ones out there for each individual. And the difference between a person being a potential one and being the one depends on choice. Choice is the deciding factor about whether or not the person stays by you or leaves. But also, in a broader sense, it also takes two people to choose to stay together in order to make things work. There's not just going to be this magical prince or princess that falls out the sky that just does everything for us, you know. So in order for someone to really say they found the one, it also means that the person has to be able to take responsibility to choose to stay by that person no matter what the outcome is. Because who knows what life is going to hand each and every one of us. And I can promise you there's no perfect situations and there are no perfect people. So in like a mature sense of the word, we have to come to understand that and come to accept that. And also from a practical sense, we have to get a good understanding of what we're looking for in people. So I have this idea where we make a list. So for instance, I'll make a list of the top 10 qualities I want in a person. And I'm not just looking for material things like, oh yes, he must be rich or she must be rich and stable in an income. Those things are nice. But also look for characteristics that you want in a person that can make a relationship worthwhile to you. So for instance, a person that has a good sense of humor, a person that is quite emotionally intelligent and stable, a person that is loyal, a person that is willing to, sincere, so they're willing to try to make things work even in the hardest times. And then you make your list, however long it needs to be. And then once you've made your list, then try to break down the most important qualities in that list, the ones that, if all else failed, those would be the deciding factor. If this person had these three qualities, I would be able to live the rest of my life with this person. Or however many qualities you decide, but I would say three is a good number. And once you've decided or once you've figured that out, then when you enter into a friendship or a relationship or a potential the one relationship, then you have a better understanding of what you can do with and what you can do without. So then, so the list is not there to judge people. The list is not there to say, you know, you don't meet my criteria, so you're out. It's more just like, in a realistic sense of the word, I'm not going to rush into something which most people do without even understanding what they're looking for. And then they get into this relationship, they become intimate very quickly, and then a year later, 2 years later, they really check themselves and like, you know, this person actually really doesn't have a lot of the things I want in a person, you know? And then things go sour, and then, you know, I'm not saying it's a waste of time, but, you know, it could have been, you could have done something more worth your while if you had already done the background work in yourself to understand, you know, these are the top three things that I want in a person. And the other seven are, they can fluctuate. Okay, so this person has these strong points and these weak points, but as long as these strong points are things that can help to maintain a relationship in a healthy sense, and the other points, they can fluctuate, they can go up and down. Yes, this person has strengths and weaknesses, so the weaknesses can be built up over time if they are necessary. Because obviously, if we're entering into a relationship, we also have to understand that I myself am not perfect. You know, I myself don't have all the strengths someone else is looking for. But if I have at least some of the strengths, then I can work with those in the relationship and try and build a healthy relationship and try and work on the areas that I see fit to sort of please the other person in a healthy sense. And in that way, in my opinion, we can better formulate healthy relationships where they will last longer. They will be more fulfilling. They will be more centered in peace and happiness, as opposed to, manic chaos and trauma and all these things. And as I said, there's no perfect situation, so we have to be able to learn to tolerate. But as long as there's something we can anchor into and realize, you know what, even though this person has these weaknesses, look at the strengths that they have. And I can find my comfort and my safety in that. And then I can be tolerant and wait until, or if these other weaknesses strengthen up a bit. Because obviously no one's perfect and no one's fully developed themselves. So it takes a bit of maturity and it takes a bit of effort to bring ourselves to a stable platform in order to make proper decisions without hastily rushing into something that we might regret later. So yeah, that's my opinions. If you have any thoughts or comments, please drop them below. I'd love to hear what you think. Yeah.